And then from fundamental of project management, we mapped out organizational influences. So let me start from, I'm going to start from the needs of assessment, right? So this is just documenting the need for this project, which leads to our business case and then leads to our project charter. But before I break that, go into explaining what the project charter is, let me come down here to talk about our organizational influence, okay? Now, organizational influences are broken into two, which are the OPAs, the organizational process assets, and then also the EFF. The EFF can be external, it can be internal. An example of external would be the PESCO, political, economic, social, technology, legal, and environmental factors to consider. Now, going back to the business case again leads to our project charter. This is a very important document that has to be completed at the beginning of this project. Now, the business charter leads us to the assumption log and the stakeholder register. The stakeholder register, the very important document that helps us identify and document the type of stakeholders that we have. We are able to identify our stakeholders through different methods. One of them could be the interview, the focus group, or the facilitated workshop. We also use OPAs and EFFs as methods of identifying stakeholders. Now, while in the process of identifying stakeholders, we conduct a document analysis and also the classification of stakeholders. We are able to classify stakeholders through different methods, through the upward, downward, sideways, external, and internal methods of classifying a stakeholder. After you classify your stakeholder, you go into prioritization of your stakeholders. You can employ the following methods. You can use the power influence matrix, you can use a salience model, or you can use the 3D cube to prioritize your stakeholders. Once you're done prioritizing your stakeholders, you move on to your stakeholder engagement plan. Now, your stakeholder engagement plan is sort of like a matrix as well, a table where you have the following columns: unaware, resistant, neutral, supportive, lead, where you can document your findings of your stakeholder. This helps you to better understand how to deal with each stakeholder. So let me come down here, sorry, a little bit. And then, all right, so from our project initiation, we split it into two. Now, coming down to the project life cycle, right? The project life cycle leads to the different types of project life cycles that we have. You could either go with the plan-driven, which is more of the predictive or waterfall style of planning, or you can go with the agile, which is also known as interactive or change-driven product life cycle. And if you were to go with the plan-driven or waterfall predictive life cycle, then that we mapped it out also into the resource management plan. I'm going to let my team members take over shortly, but just quickly as well, if we're doing the if we're going to go with the agile, also known as iterative or change driven type of planning, we can break that down into values and practices and whatnot. I think one of my team members is going to take over from the agile standpoint of view.
Or maybe I can take from there.
Yes, please.
Yes. So when you talk about projects, there are fundamentally two types of ways you execute it. One is plan-driven, where your timeline and three concerns will be fixed and you focus majorly on the quality. And when you go to the change-driven, you're majorly focusing on the value, and then time is fixed actually. That way generally will play. So in change-driven, you have three type of project life cycle. One is iterative, incremental, and then agile one. So whenever you have a number of deliveries or more, and then the scope is also keep on changing, we'll go with agile. So agile generally starts with it's a mindset actually. So when you say mindset, there are 4 values, then 12 principles, and there are a couple of agile practices, and also planning. So maybe if you could zoom little. So in the planning, there is a multiple type of plannings. So one go with a higher level, which is vision to the roadmap, then release level, then iteration level, and then at daily scrum level. So I'll jump to the agile methodologies. So there are different frameworks which is being used for agile. Scrum is there, Crystal is there, XP, Kanban, and Lean. So in a Scrum, you can see 3 roles: Scrum Master, then product owner, and then a team, which is actually doing the work. There are 3 artifacts: product backlog, sprint backlog, and then product increment. There are 5 ceremonies we will celebrate, which includes the sprint itself, followed by sprint planning, then daily stand-ups, sprint reviews, and sprint retrospective. While doing this all, we use an information editor, which includes say your Kanban board, maybe task board, burn up, burn down charts. Sometimes we'll put a physical board as well. And then we continuously use a checklist here to check the requirement generally come from the customer through product owner into the product backlog, and it sits as a user story. So when you talk about a user story, we all apply 3 checklists there. The definition of ready, whether the story is ready to take and get worked out. Definition of done, what developer will do to get that done actually, and then acceptance criteria, which will product owner will be using actually to see whether it is already done as per plan. This is more about agile. Anything I missed? 240,000. Yeah, I think I covered most of it. Situation. There's our current Ramon's got over to Vishal. My K's got zero.
Regarding related to risk, first thing is risk register, where we are just logging risk, and in risk register we are identifying risk. With that, I think there are 2 sources to identify the risk. First is expert judgment is there, special is there, focus group is there, and I think project charter also there, where we can identify the risk. Secondly, prioritize the risk. So prioritizing the risk in terms of qualitative risk management and quantitative risk management. Qualitative risk management in terms of high, medium, and low, and quantitative risk management in terms of the figures that we can identify the risk, right? Tools. There are few tools of quantitative risk assessment, and it is we can say the EMB decision tree analysis and Monte Carlo analysis also, along with the sensitivity analysis, right? So type of risk. So it is positive risk as well as negative risk, right? In positive risk, we are enhancing and escalating this, and in negative risk, we are escalating and avoiding and mitigating the risk. So this is about the risk management plan. Now I'm moving towards the quality management. Just a minute. In quality, there is quality metrics. So quality in quality KPI and benchmarking comes into the quality metrics. Where we are just defining the benchmark using comparison, and other thing is KPI. And yes, second parameter is quality control. Means how we are controlling quality, means what tools we are using to control quality. So it is histogram, also Pareto chart, scatter diagram, and yes, COQ. COQ means cost of conference, cost of non-conference, right? And quality audit also there. Quality report also considered in quality management and quality tools. There are few tools we are using in quality management. That is checklist, control chart, RCA, and RCA is having RCA is having two methods, that 5-1 method, fishbone, and sampling, which is coming under the statistical analysis. Right. In short, then I'm moving to procurement. We are just moving in. We are just discussing in short that procurement. In procurement management planning, first step is make or buy source of selection of the procurement, and there are types of contracts. So types of contracts having one category is FP, fixed price project, and TNM, time and material. So in FP, I think there are FFP, FPIP, and FPEP also, right? And other thing consider in procurement management planning is PSOW, and PSOW along with the bidder conference also, right? So with the help of bidder conference, we can we can just identify the things related to the procurement, right? So this is about the quality, procurement, and risk. I think I'm just passing it to group one again. Right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think we covered most of the part what we worked on. You're not curious? Amit, back to you.
Anything left or all done from your side?
From the board, we finished.
Okay.
The baselines, I think, baselines are pending actually. Going into detail of baselines.
Yeah, it was all about board.
Actually, we're sticking with the 3 people only.
Okay.
So there are things that we can explain, but
no, it's okay. The board is completed. Yeah. The goal was minimum 3 persons should explain, not maximum.
Okay. Yeah. Next time we'll make it 5.
Okay. Very well done. Team 1, round of applause. Very great job. I really loved the way you made mind map, how you planned and worked into that way. So really loved it. Okay, team 2, now the stage belongs to you. Anam, Farhan, Faryal, Junaid, Muhammad, Umair, Muhammad Ahmad, Abed Ali. Please share your screen. 15-minute timer. Your time starts now.
So I am going to actually navigate through the screen because this is pretty agreed, and one by one we're gonna pick it up. So starting from this one, I can explain this one. So the first one is the project need assessment. So we will have a business case and a BMP, and using that we will have a project charter assumption log, and the high level stakeholders registers. And on the basis of that, we will be expecting the high level requirements so that we could have an RTM and the requirements management plan. And from the stakeholders, we will be identifying those key stakeholders, identification, stakeholder categorization, and then the reprioritization for that. And we also had an organizational one. So the organization would be a functional or a projectized organization. So it would be having either a weak matrix or a balanced matrix. So in a weak matrix, we have different roles. So we have like a project coordinator, we have a functional manager, we have a project expediter. And in a projectized organization, that would be a strong matrix. And the project leading, a person leading the project, that would be a project manager. In the organization, we also have OPAs, EEFs, and PMIs. That is the 2. The next one is the agile one. So the project types would be a plan-driven project or a change-driven project, or a combination of these would be a hybrid. So the plan-driven are predictive in nature. A change-driven are either incremental or iterative, or these could be agile. So in the agile, we have 4 values. We did not type them. And we have 12 principles. So while planning, so we consider using those principles, we are doing the planning. So it would be either a rolling wave or a progressive elaboration. So we have in agile, we have different ceremonies, 5 ceremonies we do. So the first is sprint planning, daily stand-up, sprint review, sprint retrospective. The sprint would be a sprint 0, the first sprint, and the final sprint would be sprint edge. The roles, we have 3 roles: product owner, team, and scrum master. We have a roadmap. So we will be releasing, we will be doing iteration, we will be doing sprints. And then we have a different definition for the sprints: definition of ready, definition of done. We also talked about the epic. Epic would be actually in here in the user stories. So if you want to read them. So we also have daily stand-up meetings. In the artifacts, we have sprint backlog, sprint product backlog. Maybe product owner. Yeah, product owner, sorry. And in the user stories, we talk about like they're like normal stories and they're like epic stories. We have to break down the epic stories into the smaller ones. So when we are doing the normal ones, we have 3 C's to follow, and the story points are the time required to complete our user story, and the overall velocity. Help me, guys. What was the velocity? Anam or anyone, you can jump in. I think
the number of story points completed in the sprint.
In a sprint. So maybe you can continue now. So who we decided to continue the next ones. So we have teams in here. I can browse through and you can explain. Sorry, the three are sort of like massive.
Yeah, I can do the stake. Okay, I can start off.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we after the team charter is made and we have all the teams identified, then in teams, as we move forward in teams, we make a resource management plan in which we have RACI, responsible, accountable, consultant, and informed, and then we have responsibility assessment metrics. These two are made after the resource management plan. And while going deeper into teams, there are different stages through which every team goes through. One of the most important is Tuckman ladder. In Tuckman ladder, there are 5 stages of every team: forming, storming, norming, performing, adjourning. All the teams go through these stages, and these stages have different. In these stages, the project manager directive level is different. It varies according to the stage. Then we had the motivational theories, in which we had Maslow's hierarchy, which had self-actualization, esteem, belonging, safety, physiological, hygiene factors, motivators. We also had theory X and theory Y, McClelland's achievement, hollow effect, and expectance theory. They all have their different definitions and explanations. After team, as usually we come across conflict. So in conflict management, we have conflict resolution techniques. We accommodate, we confront, we avoid or withdraw, we direct or impose or force, or we compromise, depending on the scenario. Then we had 5 different levels of conflicts: problem to solve, then disagreement, then content, then fight or flight, and intractable situation. After the team, and communication, as it's very, very important, we go for active listening, asking questions, and sorry, I forgot the EI.
Emotional intelligence and EQ.
Emotional intelligence, yes, emotional intelligence. And after this team, we are going to move to stakeholder.
And this one as well, we have a team charter. Yes.
Yeah. Move on to stakeholder.
Stakeholders. Where was that? Sorry.
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
It was probably at the end on the right side.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, in stakeholder, go on the top. Yeah, in stakeholder, our first step is like in initiation, we make project charter, we get assumption log, and we make the stakeholder register, where we identify the stakeholders through expert judgment, focus groups, facilitation workshops. We review the important business documents like business case, benefit management plan, project charter, and assumption log. We also review the OPS to find if we had missed any important stakeholder. And when we identify the stakeholder, we have to see whether they are internal stakeholders or external stakeholders. Yeah, and we also look and review the EEF, enterprise environmental factors, in which we have pestle, political, environmental, social, technological, and legal, environmental. We also see and check the lesson learned register to check if we have missed any stakeholder, because stakeholders are very important and we do not, the project manager or the team doesn't want to miss any stakeholder. So we review all these documents and everything so that we identify all the stakeholders. After the stakeholders are identified and they are put in the stakeholder register, then we prioritize them. In prioritizing them, we have three different ways to prioritize them. We have the power interest matrix, which has power on one frame, and the interest, we look after the power and interest of different stakeholders, and we decide whom we are going to manage closely, whom we are going to keep satisfied, keep informed, and whom are going to be on our watch list. Then we have stakeholder cube. In stakeholder cube, we have interest, power, and on the third axis, we can have geography, influence, attitude, anything that's important according to the project. Then we have salience model with power, urgency, legitimacy. After prioritization, first we identify, then we prioritize, and then we classify. Upward, sideways, downwards. Upward is the stakeholder to whom we are reporting. Downward is the one who is reporting to us, and the sideways are our peers or colleagues at the same level. In planning, when we move to the planning phase, we make the stakeholder engagement plan. Stakeholder engagement plan describes the strategies to engage stakeholders. And in this, we see what is their current engagement, what is their desired engagement, and then we make a matrix of like the stakeholder is unaware, resistant, neutral, supportive, or leading. We have 4 R's in which we see what will be the information and whom are we going to send the information, who is impacted, and who when he needs the information with the right impact, with the right information at the right time. Then we have the 4 W's. I think we should move on to the next one. I think it's Umair or I think Faryal for the next one.
All done?
And no, Umair, I think Umair or Faryal are going to take the lead from here.
Sorry, I was not there in the last lectures, and I can comment on procurement quality and all those things. That's why I'll pass it on.
Faryal, are you gonna do it or not?
Junaid, there were Junaid and some Muhammad.
I can go through the procurement one if you want, because we have time to manage. So in the procurement, the first thing you're gonna do is to make a buy or make analysis. So if you're gonna do the buying, so we have to have the list of vendors as per the qualified vendors list. So the vendor qualification has to be done. So we're gonna follow that qualified vendors list. So in the source selection criteria, we have to write down the scope that what we are going to buy. So, and that would be, then we will go to the market and we will have different form of contracts. So it would be either a fixed or a variable or a time and material, or it would be a single source with a single source documentation. So in the fixed, we have firm fixed price or firm fixed price with the incentive fee, or with the, what was the, so this one was with,
Should be award fee, right?
so it was like FFPC. Oh, I'm just forgetting the last name of it. Anyways, in the variable, it's similar. So it would be cost plus a fixed fee, cost plus fixed fee plus incentive, and cost plus award fee. So this would be here, and time and material would be based on the time for the resources and the material cost. And the single source we already discussed. So when we're going to the bidders, actually, so either it would be a request for proposal, request for information, or request for quotation. So on the basis of the document, or it would be invitation to bid. So we will have a bidders conference. They will, as a result of it, we will do the clarifications, and then as a result of it, we will get the proposals. We will do the evaluations. And after the evaluations, we will be issuing the orders. So complete that. So we will move on to the communication. So the communications are done either with the internal or the external parties, and the modes of communication would be either push, pull, or interactive. And then we will have the work WPDs for, please help me with that.
Work performance data.
Work performance data, work performance information, and work performance reports. These are the level of reportings. We also have to identify the level, the needs of communication. So the model for the communication is the sender sends the information, so that would be encoding, and the receiver, when it receives the information, they have to decode it. So on the level of the information provided, there may be a noise of it. So when it completes the cycle, then we have to just, that is why we just link them together. And the 7 C's, what were the 7 C's I'm forgetting? And in the communication management plan, we had 4 R's. So maybe Umar, you can explain that if you do remember.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Go ahead.
all right. So we have the 4 R's, right? So 4 R's are the right information at the right time to right people to have right impact, which leads us to define
Which leads us to the time is over.
Okay.
15 minutes. So
we
when
had risk also, and we had quality also. Sorry,
that's okay, but you don't have time, brother.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Very well done. Very well executed. I am really happy that you guys made the entire mind map in a such a way. And I really loved it. Very well done. Time management could have been better, but very well done. Great job. G, group 3. Ahmad, Arfan, Bilal, Fatima, Mehtab, Mohammad Nabil, Manib, Amisha. Your time starts now. 15-minute timer.
15 minutes, counting down.
I'll start with explaining. We have divided as any pre-initiation, initiation as the project management, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. So in the pre-initiation, we just go for a need assessment. Then we create a benefit business case, business management. Benefit management plan, where the business case would be having a tangible values, and we'll talk about this revenues and ROI and NVP, where then this percentage of NVP is IIR. Benefit management plan is called talks about the intangible values and brand values and no staff. Now we move to the initiation phase, where after the business case and benefit management plan, we can will have the project charter, which will have the high level information of which will have the high level information for this risk, scope, schedule, stakeholder, milestone, and communication. This project charter will approve by the sponsor, and then PM will take it forward. The entire process, this business management, business case, benefit management plan, and the project charter cannot be changed. That's the limitation. After that, we have the assumption log and the stakeholder register. So and the stakeholder register in the initiation thing, we just first we do the stakeholder identification, where we use this method to identify the stakeholder, that is OPS, EEF. We can go for the interviews, we can use expert judgment, we can go to the focus group and get the information, and we can identify who are the key stakeholders for this pertain to the project. Then once we have the stakeholder, key stakeholder, then we do categorization. There we can go for the upward, downward, sideward, and all. Then we can go for, then we'll do the prioritization of this based on the power interest matrix, stakeholder cube, as well as salience model. There we need to identify who is having a high power, low interest, high power, high interest, low power, high interest, as well as we accordingly we'll just inform them or manage closely, as well as watch list, keep them in a watch list. And fourth, I just forgot it. Okay, the skew. Sorry.
Keep informed.
Yeah, keep inform them. Yeah. So this cube is yeah, the cube for this, yeah, power interest, as well as x can be anything, any parameter can be considered to prioritize the stakeholder. Then we can use a salience model where we can use a power, urgency, and legitimacy for that. After that, we can have a stakeholder metrics where we need to check it out, the state of the stakeholder, where they are aware, they are registered, they are neutral or supportive, or they are on a which stage they are. Accordingly, we can have the metrics of that. So this is all about the initiation of the project. Now we can go for a planning. 1 second.
Okay. Are you going to do
So
the entire
anyone
thing?
agree with the planning? Would you like to take from the planning? Anyone, please?
No, haven't
So
you,
I go for.
haven't you decided who's gonna do, guys? Okay, Fatma is gonna do it. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So in the planning stage, in the initiation stage, the project charter is done, assumption log is done, and stakeholder register is done, right? So in planning stage, we make different plans. The first is the stakeholder management plan. Ami, can you please zoom in? It's stakeholder management plan. We take the level of desired current engagement level of the stakeholder to the desired engagement level. We make different strategies for that. Now, in resource management, then we go for the communication management plan. In communication management plan, we decide all the plan, how to communicate with the different stakeholders according to their power and trust matrix and their classification. So then we make this communication management plan. After communication management plan, we make resource management plan, in which we manage or we decide for the resources, which are, you can say, human resources or a team, right? It may be virtual, or it's where we want to locate it, all these plans in the resource management plan. We make then risk management plan, then how to manage the risk. So in risk management plan, we first identify the risks, all the risk in the risk register, and we have all the information about these risks in the risk register. What type of the risk, what are their categories, and all their classification of the risk. After making the risk management plan, we make different plans about, we cannot make a mind map over here, but the whole information about these risks, I'm going to tell you that we make different plans to avoid the risk, to transfer the risk, to share the risk, for the positive risk and for the negative risk. And if we cannot, if we want to have the proactive approach, and for different risks, we need to have the reactive approach. And all this risk management, we do in the risk management plan. Go for the quality management plan. In the quality management plan, we plan then how the deliverables, how the project should be gone through according to the processes, and how the deliverables should be done or made or according to the scope and according to the requirement of the customer. All comes in the quality management plan. Procurement management plan. In procurement management plan, we just we have different three things. We have procurement statement of work, what we want to procure. First, we do make or buy analysis in procurement management plan. If make or buy analysis, we decide we want to buy it or we want to make it. If we want to buy it, then three things we do in planning stage. We make procurement statement of work, and we make source selection criteria, and we make the different contracts, which contract we need to follow. Different contracts, we have fixed scope contracts and we have fixed variable scope contracts. For fixed scope contracts, we have firm fixed price contract. We have fixed price economic cost adjustment contract. We have fixed price incentive type of contract. These are for fixed scope. But for the variable scope, we have different. We have cost reimbursable. We have cost reimbursable plus award fee. We have cost reimbursable plus incentive fee, and go on. For the another one is the time and material. So so these type of contracts are in the procurement. We decide in the planning stage. Going forward for the requirement management plan, in requirement management plan, we just collect the requirements, how we will collect the requirements, and but different type of requirements like internal requirements, external, stakeholder requirements, communication requirements, risk requirements, procurement requirements, quality requirements, and all these things are comes in the requirement management plan. And after getting all the requirements, we make scope of management plan. We just filter these requirements, and we have a filter of Moscow, must have, should have, could have, and all these we just filter from this Moscow's technique. These requirements come scope statement. We get the scope statement from that requirements, and we make a scope management plan in planning stage. In scope management plan, we make WBS, work based on structure, and work breakdown structures, and we just distribute, break down the main task into the different tasks, like in control. Sorry, I'm getting confused over here. We just break down all the things and to the work package level of this task. And then we make the work packages, and we make WBS dictionary and WBS codes. We give codes to the all the one by one to the all package, and we put them this work package into the dictionary. And in dictionary, we have all the information about that work package. That what type of the package should be, how we will deliver all the things in the WBS dictionary. So in scope management plan, WBS dictionary, the WBS and scope statement is fixed, and it is approved, and it's become the scope baseline, right? After that, we make schedule management plan, and in this schedule management, we we set the duration of the milestones and all these, and we just break down these work packages into the activity list and their milestones. So then, when all this is done, we make the schedule baseline. And in cost management plan, we make cost estimations, and we make the cost plan, how the cost of the, and then we make the cost baseline. So three baseline: scope, schedule, and scope baselines get fixed over here, and it becomes work performance baseline, right? After that, communication plan, I have already told, and change management plan. In a change management plan, we just set the criteria how the change will be come and receive and will be evaluated, and will be the steering committee, which is called change control board. This plan comes in the change management plan. And what else we have in the planning? Yes, in the planning stage, we need to select the project life cycle. What kind of life cycle should be? It depends on the nature of the project. It may be, we have different type natures of it. May have variable scope nature, or like fixed scope nature. If we have fixed scope nature, we have predictive lifestyle, waterfall life cycle we select. And if there is some adaptive has different things. It has incremental approach, it has iterative approach, it has agile approach. It depends on what type of variability over there. So coming back to the hybrid. Okay, hybrid have to both. If we manage a project with waterfall and with the adaptive approach or agile approach, it is called hybrid. So coming back to the agile thing, agile need to be elaborated more, and I think the Ahmad will take the lead on agile.
Okay, in agile we have three documents, 5 events, and Amy, please can you please go up more up? and 3 roles. In 3 documents, we have product backlog, sprint backlog, and product increment. And 5 ceremonies are there: sprint planning, sprint, daily stand-up, sprint review, and retrospective. In sprint review, we give the product to the show the product to the all stakeholders and get the approval. If approved, then it will go to the product increment. If rejected, then we conduct a retrospective meeting to see what can be done to improve the product and review the next sprint and make the sprint planning as well for the next sprint. And 3 roles are there in Scrum. It's product owner, Scrum master, and development team. And in Scrum, in Agile, we have 4 values: customer collaboration over the contract negotiation, respond to change over follow a plan, working software over the detailed documentation, individual and interactions over tools and processes. So we also have the three. We also have show that information through the information radiator burn up, which shows the works done till date, and if any change appears, it will be shown in the burn up chart, a burn down chart. What's works is remaining till that, and the Kanban board, which shows the work limits, and task boards, the tasks according to the task what are been done. There are 4 other methodologies as well: XP, Kanban, Lean, Crystal, and Scrum is also part of the. Amy, should we go to the stakeholder?
That's it?
On the planning and then execution, right? Then execution,
Yes.
we written down the stakeholder.
Last 25 seconds.
Oh my God.
So go to the execution stage.
Yeah.
Yes, in execution, we execute the plans and make the deliverables. And if any change is required, then we raise the change request to incorporate that change in the plan and work
Any
on that.
monitoring and control? Any monitoring and control?
In monitoring and control, we
Thank you,
check.
guys. Thank you.
Oh,
When the clock strikes, the clock strikes. So
Okay.
very well, very well
Thank
done.
you, sir.
Very well done. So group 4 now. Group 4: Amer, Ubaid, Victoria, Adnan, Zafar, Anjum, Ibrahim, Mavish. So this group had an interesting fun in between. They came out of the group. They thought that the class has ended, but I hope you have made a good amount of it. So please, your time starts now. 15-minute timer. Please go ahead.
15 minutes. Counting.
Okay. So first, we basically started from the phases of the project. First is the pre-initiation phase that have basically business needs, and it has business case and benefit management plan. And then we go to the initiation. We basically made project charter in here, and then after the project charter is being approved, we make assumption log and stakeholder register. So in planning phase, we basically go to the stakeholder management plan and identify the stakeholders. That is through EF, PESTEL, focus group meetings, and OPA, expert judgment, and lesson learned register. So after we identify it and we put it in the stakeholder register, then we categorize it by upward stakeholders, downward stakeholders, sideways, internal and external stakeholders. After we categorize them, we prioritize them by power interest chart. Either stakeholder is high power, high interest, then we manage closely. If it is low power, high interest, then we have keep them informed. And if it is low power, low interest, we keep them on watch list. And if it is high power, low interest, then we keep them satisfied. We have another salience model for the prioritization of the stakeholder that are used for the complex situations. We have urgency, power, and legitimacy. And then we have also the stakeholder cube that basically deals with the power interest and any other factor like the geography, location, or something else. And we also have in stakeholder management plan, we have stakeholder engagement metrics that shows the current or and desired level of the stakeholder. either stakeholder is unaware, resistant, neutral, and supportive, or leading. And for this stakeholder engagement assessment metrics, we basically made the strategies that how we are going to move this stakeholder from one point to another point that are called the stakeholder engagement plan. And moving forward, we basically made the communication management plan, and I think Anjum will be moving forward with the communication management plan. Anjum, over to you.
Adnan, can you please zoom?
प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट तो आपने तो पेमेंट किया है तकरीबन 45
Zoom it a bit more. And in communication management plan, we have 4 R's, like right information to the right people at right time to get the right impact. Then there are some types of communication, like pull, push, interactive. Then there are modes of communication, encode, decode, feedback, and noise. Then in managed communication, we start implementing the communication management plan. And in monitoring and control, we look at the things plan versus actual.
Shall I start the resource management plan?
Yeah, Ibrahim.
Delay, please.
Yeah. Resource management plan, we have 4 types of resources: manpower, machinery, people, manpower, machinery, material, and money. Here we have to discuss about the manpower. In acquired resources, we have physical resources, virtual, hybrid, and we also do a key type of leader here also. SWOT is using in risk analysis. We manage the resources and during the and we develop the resources. In developing resources, we have the team charter, which says about the ground rules, guidelines for communication, vision, working agreements, conflict resolution techniques, resource management, and resource calendar is also part of that. And in decision making, we have voting, multi-criteria, majority, adequacy, and plurality decision methods. And technologies is the development of the team stages. There are 5 stages. First is the forming, then storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. And in storming, the reality comes in front of all the things, and teams, the conflict start between among the teams. And there are the 5 stages of the conflict: L1, L2. L1 is also known as the problem to solve, where the project manager did not involve there in their conflict. From L2 to L5, the project manager actually start looking into the conflict. L2 is the disagreement. L3 is the contest. L4 is the crusade, and fourth is L1 is the World War. And project managers start from de-escalating from L5 to L2. And another one is the risk management plan. Risk is the probability into impact, and risk anything that you identified before it happening. It's known as the risk. How we identify the risk? Through OPS, EF. EF also is a FESTEL, political, economical, technical, social, and legal. Then after assumption log also we have to save. We also do interviews, workshop, and after identifying the risk, we put into the risk register. And there are the 5 types of the risk in the risk management plan. 5 types of the documents: risk registers, risk management plan, risk report, issue log, and lesson registers. After identifying the risk register, after identifying the risk, we put into the risk register to classify as a qualitative risk analysis and quantitative risk analysis. Qualitative risk analysis is the probability into impact, and the quantitative analysis, we quantify the risk after qualitative analysis. by using expected monetary values, decision tree, Monte Carlo simulations, influence diagrams, Tornado diagrams, which is known as the sensitivity analysis. Then after classifying, we plan the risk response strategies. We have to make reactive strategies and proactive strategies. In proactive strategies, we have to two. First is for positive, and the second is the negative. For positive, we have we exploit the things. That means the we increases probability and impact both are we have to increases. After exploiting, we also enhance and after that we share the things. In negative, we avoid the things either probability makes zero. If not possible, we mitigate the things. Both probability and impact get zero or get decreased. If not, then we transfer. If not possible, then we display the things to the sponsors. And we have to react. We have the reactive strategy in that we identify the triggers and we identify the triggers and we respond according to that trigger. Active acceptance and passive acceptance. In active acceptance, we make the contingency plans, and if contingency plans fails, then we follow the fallback plans. And in passive acceptance, we can't do, we work around it. Sir. Then next one, please. I will explain quality management plan later, but agile.
Okay. Okay. Mavish, can you go on from there?
Yeah, sure. Can you scroll down? Yeah. So basically, we have a different life cycle of project management, which we couldn't get a chance to incorporate here. Like we have iterative, we have waterfall, we have increment, we have hybrid. So we started with the agile. Basically, in agile, we have 5 ceremonies, 3 roles, and 3 artifacts. If you can scroll up, Anand. And also we have 12 principle and 4 values. So I will be starting with the values where we say that the customer collaboration over the contract. Then the second is the respond to the change over plan. Then third is like the working software, which is like MPV over the documentation. And the fourth one is the individual over the process and tools. Then we have 12 principles. So we unable to recall everything. So then we'll jump to the event. So basically we have 5 events where first is a sprint. So basically we have a different frameworks, but here we are covering the scrum. In scrum, basically we start with the sprint. Sprint basically is the event which can be between 1 to 4 weeks. Then we start with the sprint planning. Basically in sprint planning, we set the goal and team estimate the user stories, and then we start the work in that sprint planning. And after sprint planning, there is one more event which we call sprint review. In a sprint review, basically product owner, stakeholders, and team, everyone join together and review the product if it meets the definition of done or acceptance criteria. If it gets accepted, so then it goes to the product increment, which is the another artifact, and if it gets rejected, so it goes back to the product backlog. Then we have another sprint event, which is daily stand-up. This is basically a 15-minute meeting with the team, where the team and the scrum master join it, and we discuss about the daily progress, what we have done today, what we did yesterday, and if there is any roadblockers. We don't discuss the roadblockers in the meeting. We just discuss what are the blockers, and then we can take it in the later stages, like in the later discussion. Then we have a sprint retrospective where we discuss how we can improve. Basically, there were some stages like the set the stage and then gather the information. Are unable to recall everything. So yeah, that's what we discuss in this sprint retrospective. Here in these 3 artifacts, basically we have a product backlog. In product backlog, we have a set of user stories where we write the user stories with acceptance criteria, and basically it's a responsibility of product owner to prioritize the product backlog, and then based on that we decide what will go to the sprint backlog, and then from sprint backlog we start the sprint. I forgot to mention we have one more stage which is called sprint 0, where we do the architecture spike, like if technically it's possible or not, or what is the risk to start the user story. Then we have other practices as well. Apart from Scrum, we have Lean, we have XP, we have Kanban, where we measure the workload. If I remember correctly, it's basically we try to analyze what is the workload and what is the work in progress flow, something like that. Then we have this estimation technique where like the user stories we use to estimate, we can pick the ideal hours. I guess it's the same t-shirt sizing where we estimate as a large, medium, small. We can pick these kind of estimations, or we can go to the affinity estimation, or there is one more, the Fibonacci series, where we have a specific numbers 2, 4, and then we can estimate based on that to analyze the complexity of the user story. I think that's it for Agile. We have 3 roles. Basically, the product owner who's responsible for the product backlog. Then we have a Scrum Master, and then we have a development team. Basically, development team is responsible how the work will be done. So, and the Scrum Master basically a facilitator or coach who basically helps everyone to expedite the work. Then we have this information radiators. Here, basically we can see the project progress, like the sprint progress, how it's going. So we have different radiators. Burn up, which says that how much work has been completed in the sprint. Burn down is like how much work is remaining in the sprint. Kanban is basically to analyze the work in progress. And then we have a simple task force. We missed one thing, velocity, basically, which is the completed story points in the sprint. Yeah, that's it for myself. And I will take a lead from the
Okay, Ibrahim, can you explain the quality management plan?
You don't have time for that, guys.
Okay.
Ibrahim, first you improve your mic also. Your mic needs to update. Your mic has that tune that when you watch the recording, you will see. Okay.
Okay, sir. Take it.
Acha ji. Okay, nice. Okay, Victoria, you didn't say anything in the entire team. You are in the team. Why? I was expecting from your side. You are in that team, right?
We're moving so fast.
Okay. So group 5, the last but not least. Group 5. Please share your screen. Naveed, Sharif, Yasir, Yusuf. Okay. 15 minutes. Your time starts now.
Okay, so Agile, first we started with Agile, and Sharif will start explaining Agile. Sharif? Sharif?
Ajmer, are you with us? Ajmer?
Sorry?
Okay, Yusuf, you can continue. I guess he's not here.
Okay, so basically we have 4 type of... Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, thanks.
Sharif, you are explaining or should I continue?
I'm explaining. So Agile is having 4 values and 12 principles. So we discuss 4 values like customer collaboration or contract negotiation, individual interaction over process and tools, responding to change over following a plan, and working software over comprehensive documentations. And 12 principles of Agile: satisfy the customer, welcome change, deliver frequently, work together, trust support, face-to-face conversation, working software, sustainable development, continuous attention, maintain simplicity, self-organizing team, and reflect and adjust. There are Agile practices: Kanban, Scrum, Lean, Crystal, and Extreme Programming XP. There are Agile planning, 5 levels of Agile planning, like product vision, roadmap, release planning, sprint planning, daily planning. Yeah. So in the daily planning, we'll discuss like 15 minutes and what we'll do today and what did yesterday and what is blocking me. This is what in daily planning we'll discuss. There are Scrum, 3 roles: product owner, Scrum master, development team. In the Agile, 3 artifacts: product backlog, sprint backlog, product increment. Then 5 ceremonies like events: sprint planning, sprint, daily stand-up, sprint review, sprint retrospective. So the normally we use a Scrum practice. So Scrum process will be like a product backlog, a sprint planning meetings, sprint backlogs. Then like sprint will take 1 to 4 weeks. Normally 2 weeks. Like on daily stand-up will happen, which I already explained. So with the team of product owner and the Scrum master and team. So this will be a Scrum process where the 3 checklists will be there in the sprint, like definition of ready, definition of done, and acceptance criteria. If the thing is accepted, then it will go to product backlog. If it is accepted, it will go to in a product increment. In case of it is rejected, it will then go to product backlog. Then these things will be monitored like information radiators, like task board, Kanban board, burn down chart, and burn up chart. Like in Agile, we use the story points, like user stories. User stories will be measured in the story points. Like we'll use the estimation techniques, like Agile prioritization or estimation technique, planning poker, Maslow, ideal hours, affinity estimation, or lightweight estimation. This is a sort of our Agile mind map working. Yes, no, Mr. Yusuf, you can take other things.
Okay, so Yasser will start with stakeholder. Yasser.
Yes. Can you zoom out to this one?
If I bring this gift for you, so how much happy you will be? Guys, what is the delay? Guys, what is the delay here?
Actually, we cannot take it actually.
Okay, so in project planning, what we do is we have need assessment and we have a business case and benefit management plan. This is the pre-initiation stage, and then from there we go to initiation stage where we have 3 basic things. We have project charter, we have sanction log, and we have stakeholder register. Project charter is basically a high-level information. And then in assumption log, we assume, and in stakeholder register, what we do is, first of all, we have to identify the stakeholder. To identify the stakeholder, we have OPAs. We do it through EEF, focus group, expert judgment, and lesson learned. And once we identify the stakeholder, we have to categorize them and we have to prioritize them. For categorization, we have to see who's the upward stakeholder to whom we are reporting. We have to see who's the downward stakeholder to whom we are reporting, who are sideward, who's reporting to us, who are the sideboards, exactly like in same level as us. And we also have internal and external stakeholders. Then we go to prioritization. We have number one and the most important one is the power and trust, where we see who have high power and high trust, who have high power, low interest, who have low power, high interest, who have low power. Whoever have high power, high interest, we have to manage them closely. The second one, we have to keep them satisfied. Third one, we have to keep informed.
What happened?
Okay,
Guys, what happened? Yusuf? Is it I cannot hear or you guys can also not hear?
We are not able to hear you.
Yusuf? Yasir? Brother, if you are trying to explain something, I am unable to hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so power interest and salience model, have you guys heard this? I mean, can move forward?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, then initiation is completed here. Then we start planning, and in planning, the other guy who's supposed to take over, Yasir, and Yasir, yeah, sorry. Guys, okay, I'll move on with planning. So basically, we have different types of plan. We have stakeholder engagement plan, we have risk management plan, we have resource management plan, communication management plan, quality management plan, schedule management, and scope management, and cost management. In stakeholder engagement plan, we have to see we have to put them in the matrix, like where what is the current position of the stakeholder? Is he unaware? Is he resistant? Is he neutral? Is he supportive? Is he leading? Being a project manager, our job is always to make sure we can bring the current level of to the desired level. So if he's let's say resistance, we have to make sure that he's supportive. Then in the resource management plan, we have a team charter where we have Tuckman ladder, values, vision, and decision making. In Tuckman ladder, we have 5 stages. We have forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. We have also, if there is a conflict, we have 5 levels of conflict. We have to also identify the ground rules, what should be the ground rules, how the team should interact and all that. And then we have different type of team. We have I-type leader, we have T-type leader, and we have physical team members, virtual team members. Then we have another plan, which is called communication management plan. In communication management plan, we have basically 4 R's, which is right information to right people at right time to have right impact. And also for the types of communication, we have push type communication, pull type communication, interactive. There are other ways of communication, which is active and active and passive. And okay, unfortunately, because of me, because I was moving from work, so we couldn't do much. And
why did they start with you then? Why did they?
Well, you know the reason. I mean, I didn't want it to, but
okay.
Nobody was sharing the screen, so I
okay,
have to.
very well done, batch 5, group 5. So very well done, guys. I am really proud of all of you, how you went each and every single group. So let's put in the chat box who wins out of all the 5 groups. Who you think is the best? Who did the best? You cannot pick your group. You cannot pick your group. Which do you think did the best job? What I think, everyone did the best of their capabilities. So very well done, all of you. Okay, guys. So now starts the real thing. First of all, tomorrow, fill your application. For those who has not filled the application, I'll share the remaining links in batch 1. Secondly, tomorrow, 11 a.m. EST time, which becomes 8 p.m. UAE time, which is 9:30 India time, 9 p.m. Pakistan time, 7 p.m. Saudi time, Saudi, Qatar, Kuwait time. We will have coaching call. Okay, we'll see. It's 1 hour or 2 hour. We'll see. Okay. Then on Monday, 7 p.m. EST time, we will have a coaching call. Tuesday, we will have again Zoom coaching call. Thursday, we will have coaching call. On Saturday, we will have PMP marathon. PMP marathon is 4-hour question answers made by certified PMPs. Made by certified PMPs. Like today, you see, Satya cleared PMP and I asked him to make 20 questions, right? Yesterday, Prashabu Nair cleared, I asked him to make the questions. And before that, Raman cleared. Every single day, one or two students are clearing. So I'm asking them to make the questions. We will use those questions. It will be 4 hour question answer session. I normally used to do it on Sunday, like today is Saturday. On Sunday, I used to do it. Then one of the student gave feedback, sir, if we do it next week, we will have a revision to complete the topic and go through it, and then we will be better equipped to solve the question answers. So for batch one and everyone else who has not yet completed it, that includes Farhan, Umair, Qasim, complete all the topics and question answers. Okay, before the next week, before the PMP marathon, so that you are better equipped to do that, right? Okay, and Fatma, we need to see it. We need your PMP in next 10 days. It's being you need like Satya was like Satya and you were almost near, right? You Binsi needs to get it done, right? Okay, guys. Anyone has any question, confusion, anything they would like to ask or discuss? Anything about anything? Somebody unmuted. Yeah, Fatima.
I need I need to ask the question. I just write the things. Can you please elaborate the force field analysis?
Force field analysis is a
Yes.
risk question. Let's say one force is coming towards this side, other force is coming towards that side. Which force will be more dominant? Okay, so that is called force field analysis. It is used in risk to calculate the positive impact of a risk and a negative impact of a risk. We will calculate, okay, this risk has positive, let's say $500, and the negative it is $450. So we'll sum it up. It is overall $50 positive risk. I can go with that. That's a easy understanding of force field analysis. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
And the next thing is design of experiments.
DOX is basically quality tool. DOX is a quality tool in which basically we customize the quality tool according to the requirement. Like we'll make one thing as X, one thing will be variable, everything else will be change. So we'll change the factor and see how it works. Right now, nowadays, what Apple is doing, they change one camera or one space just to see what optimize the design, right? It is specifically used in designing to optimize the design. Okay. Yeah. What else? Okay. G, anyone else? Any question regarding in the PMP? One more time, follow the roadmap, follow the sequence. If you have any time, anything you want to discuss, I'm always available. Okay. So I just answered your question there. Vinci, in the PMP aspirant group, your question I already answered. When the question is asking about a subscription model, you are looking for more of a subscription base, then the time and material is used. When you are looking for the entire package, the entire view, then cost reimbursement will be used. Okay. Time and material especially for the subscription way. Gee, what else? Anybody? Okay, with that, let's put your preparation into fourth gear, into speed. Let's get this thing done. I really want all of your certificate before the end of February. It can be done. It can be done. Please, let's keep moving forward with that. Thank you very much from wherever you are joining. It was honor. See you tomorrow. Coaching call 11 a.m. EST, 8 p.m. UA time. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, sat sri akal, good morning, good evening, good wherever you are. Bye bye.
Recording stopped.
And for those people who are watching us here, who are watching at uh, YouTube, Facebook. If you want to join our program, my program, the next batch program, you can join us. The number is given. It is working into that. You can join it and we can help you become a certified PMP in the minimum possible time. My number is there, my email is there. Until next time, become certified PMP. And if you do, I'll be more than happy to help you to become the PMP. We know is the first certified DM of 2023. Ganesh, Naeem, Arun, Junaid, Ramil, Shahid, Sandeep, Naula, Rupar, Onkar, Nishit, Sulaiman, Mohit, Mati, Leo, Uram, Halim, Ghazi, Harun, Ahmad, Afla, Abu Bakr, Razan, Ikram, Talib, Tayyib, Aslan, Madhiya, Hassan, Ajay, Ikin, Gavin, Naseem, Padma, Priti, Hassan, Vikas, Atif, Zia, Pallavi, Sajad, Zarnab, Azim, Imran, Tahir, Azad, Grace, Ajay, Ali Numan, Mafi, Mansoor, Prashant, Asma, Ki, Bhai, Fiaz, Garin, Ibrahim, Shakil, Diwali, Talha, Adnan, Akmal, Azam, Bas, Mangesh, Murli, Nag, Raj, Sachin, Sujit, Chetal, Yasir, Moss, Rizwan, Abbas, Shakil, Shafiq, Karita, Fandel, Yakar, Kodan, Tushar, Rizwan, Matt, Ras, Aziz, Ahmed, Sukur, Imran, Rajesh, Sachin, Rais, Yasir, Michael, Makura, Irfan, Ashab, Ijaz, Binu, Atif, Ankush, Selwan, A Love Story, Shri, Durga, Vivek, Kalyan, Sagar, Fad, Ali, Satish, Rizwan, Was, Abis, Razan, Yasir, Yusuf, Wakash, Vinay, Vishali, Mesh, Uday, Chandala, Sunila, Sauvik, Sibai, Saurabh, Satish, Sani, Saad, Genius, Fatime, Amir, Mohit, Dasir, Mohit, Mohammed, Minhaj, Das, Smile, Hassan, Asif, Farid, Farhan, Ittisham, Dr. Jitin, Tadab, Badar, Atif, Anushpa, Amar, Amaya, Ali,